guys, it's time for math. I know my head's getting chopped off a little bit there, but anyway, I want to review rounding and also Roman numerals. Okay, so we're going to start right here. We're going to look at our rules. Any numbers that end in 1, 2, 3, or 4, we round down to a number that ends in a 0. But if your number ends in 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you round up to the number that ends in a 0. Okay, so 44, we're going to look at its last place. It's a 4. So it says round down. Well, think on a number line where 44 would be. It's between 40 and 50. So since it ends in a 4, we're going to round down to 40. Okay? Same with this number, number 49. I want you to think on a number line, 40 and 50. And also look at this last number, number 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, round up to the number that ends with the 0. So this number is not going to round to 40. It's going to round to 50. Okay, that's pretty easy. But when it gets with money, it's a little bit trickier. If it ends in 49 cents or less, you round down to the nearest, run out of room, dollar. But if it's 50 cents or more, you will round up to the nearest dollar. So we're going to look at this. This is $1.69. So we're going to look at the cents. 69. Is that 49 or less? No, 69 is more than 50. So we're going to round up to the nearest dollar. So this would not round to $1. It's going to round up to $2. And don't forget, when you write money, you have to have 2 digits behind the decimal. Okay? Let's look at this one, $1.15. We're looking at this number, 15. That goes with this rule. 49 cents or less, we round down to the nearest dollar. So here's the dollar. So this one's not closer to $2. It's closer to $1. Okay? Now we're going to go over here. We're going to review some of the main Roman numerals. Remember, this is a Roman numeral. And this is an Arabic number, okay? So I equals 1, V, 5. Good job. X, 10. C, 100. Good job. L, 50. D, 500. And M, 1,000. Okay, that was just a review I wanted to do real quick. Now let's get on to today's new lesson. So give me a second. I'm just going to erase all of this. Okay. Oh, I just remembered something I needed to review, so let's do that. We learned that when we have half of a number, that's pretty easy. Half of 12. We know half of 12 is 6. This is the same as doing 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Now, when you have a third of something, that's going to be the same as 12 divided by 3. Okay, so if your paper said circle 1/3 of 12, well, when we divide by 3, we count by 3s till we reach 12. You ready? 3, 6, 9, 12. So a third of 12 is how many? 4. So if your worksheet said circle a third of 12 flowers, you would only circle 4. Okay, let's do the same thing with the fourth. Let's do a fourth of 16. Oops, my hands are getting all dirty. That's the same as 16 divided by 4. That means we got to count by 4s to get to 16. Do you remember from last week how to count by 4s? All right, let's start. 4, 8, 12, 16. So what's 16 divided by 4? 4. Good job. So if you get a worksheet where it says draw a circle a fourth of 16, then you would only circle 4. Okay, I hope that helps. All right, we are going to go into this week's new stuff. And some of it's new for some of you. I need my friends that always want to erase the board for me. All right, so here I have is my Judy clock. We are learning time to the nearest minute. So we're not going to be learning, for example, 2:30, 2:35, 2:30, 2:40, 2:45. So we're going to talk about when it's one notch behind 35, it would be 2:30. Excuse me, I'm doing this backwards. 2:36, because each notch you count by ones. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And how many minutes in an hour? Do you see it? 60. But I would never write a time that says 12:60. That's not a time. Okay? One other thing I want to talk about with time. Remember, it always has 2 digits after the colon. 2. Or it's not going to be a correct time. Now, what if it's 2:06? Yes, that's a time, but not 2:06. Okay, so let me show you 2:06. So here's 2 o'clock. Excuse me, I'm doing this backwards. Bear with me. Here's 2 o'clock. 2:01, 2:02, 2:03, 2:04, 2:05, 2:06. Okay, and then you could keep going. 2:07, 2:08, 2:09, 2:10. So all of these from 2 o'clock to 2:09 have to have a 0 first. Okay, I'm going to do another time. Let's do, Oh, remember, tell me what these hands. The short hand is the hour hand. That's the one you read first because it's bossy and it wants to go first. The long hand is the minute hand, okay? And that is the hand you're going to use to read the nearest minute. Okay, so here's 12. Let's do, here's one. Can you see it down there? All right, so it's 12:25, 12:26, 12:27, 12:28. Okay, and I know, remember that on most clocks won't have these on there. So don't forget that you start counting by 5s right here by the 1. 5, 10, 15, and so on. And it says 60 up here, but remember, when both hands are on the 12, it's 12 o'clock. Okay. All right. That's what I was going to show you about that. My next thing is place value. All right. So here we go. All right. Y'all ready? I think we may have covered this in class already, but I'm not 100% sure. We have the ones place. We have the tens place. Do you know the next one? Hundreds. I'm just going to put hund. Let me pull y'all in a little bit closer if I can. And this one is the thousands. I'm gonna put thous. The next one is 10,000. And this last one is 100,000. Okay, and if you go past that, it's the million. But right now we're just gonna go to 100,000. So let's read this number. 230,000. That's it. But if I change some of these numbers, let's change it up completely. Okay, let's read this number. 231,987. So if I asked you, how many hundreds does that number have? You would tell me 9. If I say, how many ones does that number have? You would tell me 7. Good job. What if I said, how many 100,000s? 2. Very good. So this is place value, and you will have some numbers where you're going to be adding them together or subtracting them. So I'm gonna just do one real quick for you, and we can do it together or whatever. All right, so this one's on this side. All right, 3 plus 1, 4. 3 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're gonna put the 1 and carry the other one. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1, 19. So I'm gonna carry the 1 again. 9, 10, 11. 1, carry the 1 again. 8 plus 9, excuse me. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. And you'll do 1, 2, 3, comma. So the sum, did you remember that word? The sum is 361,914. Okay? And you're going to be doing some subtracting with those as well. Remember to look at each place value and ask yourself, is it more on the floor, go next door? Or is it big on top, don't stop, just subtract. Okay, so just think about those things. And I lost my eraser. Where's my eraser? All right, we are going to, we looked at graphs last week. I'm going to pause y'all while I make a graph. All right, I made my graph, and this is going to be a line graph. We did this kind of last week, but this week you're actually doing it yourself instead of just reading it. I want you to pay attention to this. These are called parentheses. Can you say that again? Parentheses. And when you see a graph and you're going to see some little, these are called coordinates. The first number will always be a cross on your graph, and the second number will always be up. So I put across, then up. So we're going to plot these coordinates, and then we're going to connect them with a straight line. Well, the best I can. All right, so our first one, across, 1, up, 1. So I'm going to put a dot right there. And when I was in school, to make sure I did all of them, I would put a check next to it to let me know I've already plotted it. Okay, now remember it's across, then up. So now we're going across 2, and we need to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Or you can take 2 hands and go 2, 3, and they would meet right there. Okay, we don't draw our line yet until the very end. Okay, so we did 2 and 3. 3. Remember, that's across 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just make sure Yep, right here. Now we've done all the coordinates, and when you draw your line, you're always going to start at the first dot, and you're going to go up straight as you can to the next dot. And you'll stop straight as you can as the next dot. Okay? And then people can ask you questions. Okay? Where would you see this in real life? Us as teachers actually look at this a lot. Remember your star reading test? I know it looks like I'm not here. Remember your star reading test? Well, many, if I showed you one, I don't have one on me, they're at school, but in the beginning of second grade, it was very, very low. And then we tested you on the beginning. And then we tested you on January, and it grew. And then we're actually going to want you to take this test, the star reading test, at home this week. And I'm going to send directions. And we want to see growth. Because we know as we work hard, we should grow our mind, grow our knowledge. Okay? So hopefully your star test will look like this. Okay? So that is plotting a line graph. Let me erase that real quick. I know I'm like right here in the camera. Here's a good question. Will my line graph always go up? And the answer is no. Sometimes it'll go down. Sometimes it'll go all different ways. Okay? People look at these for growth. Mr. Matt uses these line charts a lot. And so you'll probably see them when you're a little bit older, but it's important to know how to read them. Okay? And sometimes we use these coordinates with maps. Okay? Back in the day when we didn't have GPS systems, we would use maps, and we would plot our beginning point, and then we would plot our destination point. And I remember watching my parents as a little girl. They would take a highlighter and they would highlight the way they wanted to go on the map. And we didn't have GPS to tell us when to turn, so it was quite funny. We would turn all different ways. Remember one time my mom got my dad to turn down a one-way street, and we were pulling our camper, and I was just laughing. I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, all right, I am going to clean this real quick, and then we're going to review. We're going to, I think you already know this because I already taught you it earlier in the year, but we're just going to do that real fast, and then we'll be done. All right. This last part is about checking your answer. And so we did a little bit of this. Let's do 9 plus 7. Well, I don't remember that too well. So I know 9 plus 9 is 18, but 2 less, that would be 16. So to check our answer, the opposite of addition is subtraction. So we would subtract it up. 16 minus 7 equals 9. Okay? The same way, so the opposite of addition is subtraction. The same way if we subtract 15 minus 10, we know that equals 5. Well, we're going to add up 10 plus 5 equals 15. So we've already done this a lot. Remember, I told you in 3rd grade, you're going to do it like all the time. Okay, let's do a little bit trickier ones. Let's do 86 plus 14. Okay, 6 plus 4, 10. Carry the 1, 8, 9, 10. So our answer is 100, but now we need to check it. So opposite of addition is subtraction. So I draw an arrow because this will tell us what number we need to draw first. So 100 minus 14. Oh no, here we go. Or on the floor. Can't go next door, can't go here. So we're going to take this number, box it. What is 10 minus 1? 9. Good job. And then 10 plus 0. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. Is that the same one? It's correct. And we're going to do over here. Let's do 93 minus 33. We'll do an easier one. 3 minus 3 is 0. 9 minus 6. I just gave you the answer. 9 minus 3 is 6. And remember, whatever this is, the first one you do the opposite of. So it's subtraction. We're going to do addition. 60 plus 33 is 93. Is that the same number? Yes, look, 93. Okay, so you've already done that a lot. Okay. Now I'm not going over your times tables and your facts, but I strongly urge you to do that over the summer, because that, when third grade starts, is going to fly. We can go over a few rules right now if you'd like. Any number times 1 equals that number except 0. 0 times 1 is 0. So 1 times 12 is 12. And that's the same thing for division. Any number divided by 1 is that same number. Okay? When you multiply by 2, you're just doubling it. When you multiply by 3, you count by 3s. When you multiply by 4, you're going to double it and double it again. So let me show you. You're going to take the other factor and double it twice. Okay, so we multiply by 4. What's 4 plus 4? 8. Good job. 8 plus 8? 16. So 4 times 4 is 16. When you multiply by 5, you count by 5s. When you multiply by 10, you count by 10s. Okay? I pray that this summer you remember everything that I've taught you and that you'll be good and ready for third grade. All right. See y'all soon.